99.9 KTDY, the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. And Kelly with Breakaway, Siege and Deb at 8:12. The doctor's in. Dr. Kevin is here with the Bryan Wellness Institutes of Acadiana. Before we get started with you and your Wellness Wednesday little thing, I'd like to say, I'd like to thank Abear's Boudin Cracklin for sending us Boudin beef jerky and boudin balls and what do you call cracklins. Thank you, Abears, Boudin, and Cracklins. Abearsboudin.com. Broussard, Opelousas, Anderson, and Kinder. You and I, off the air just a minute ago, Doc, we were talking about the new Apple stuff, and Doc came in. Deb, you were out, and he's like all excited over the new Apple products. The iPhone 6. What'd you say? What's the difference?
Oh, it's really the best phone they've ever made. I mean, it's got some really neat stuff. It's got a better screen, better resolution. It's bigger. It's faster. It's really improved in every way. And
then this little iWatch, the Apple Watch, the little what do you call it? What's the guy? The 007 guy?
James Bond?
Little James Bond-like thing, huh?
Yeah. They're saying with that watch, you'll be able to unlock your hotel room. You'll be able to pay like it's a credit card. You just wave it places, and it can do lots of things.
I think that'll be on the phone, too, won't it?
Yeah.
It's just Apple Pay.
They're taking over the world, man.
Wouldn't you have loved to have bought Apple stock like early on?
Oh.
Just $100, you'd still be rich.
I know.
Are you kidding?
All right, but that's not why you're here. Why are you here?
Well, I was reading a new study yesterday on some of the health benefits of eating a high-protein diet. And I wanted to discuss the findings today for our listeners. And you know, this is another one of those cases where I've been talking about something for like 10 years now, and then they did a study on it, and it proved it right, and they're the smart ones kind of thing. It happens all the time.
We say it around here. Yeah. Anybody who walks in with a briefcase and a suit, they're much smarter than we are.
Right. But these high-protein diets are, all the rage, like these paleo diets and these type of diets are really all the rage lately, and they have been shown to be very beneficial in making our blood chemistry numbers better, and also in our quest to lose weight. And there are a few minor things I don't agree with a paleo type diet, and I know that's all the rage lately. But I prefer a little more of a Mediterranean style diet for myself. But the paleo diet definitely has a lot of great aspects to it.
Well, was I just not listening? What is it?
Oh, the paleo diet is supposedly a way to eat like Paleolithic man, which is sort of like the caveman days. But the truth is, how do we really know what cavemen ate? I mean, they probably ate grubs and worms and, grasshoppers and I mean, they probably ate plants we don't have around anymore. I mean, they might
get all that in Judy's day.
Dinosaur meat.
All of that in Judy's, my backyard.
I mean, they might have eaten each other if times got bad enough. I mean,
one time we thought about doing that to Steve Wiley. It was like, which one we gonna kill?
Right.
We hungry up in here.
And so, I mean, I understand the concept, and it definitely has some benefits, but the concept of eating less refined foods and higher protein and almost no breads or carby products, I strongly agree with.
Because you can get enough carbohydrates from eating the vegetables, right?
Sure. Yeah. Now, I prefer the more Mediterranean style, which is eating lots of healthy fats. The Mediterranean diet focuses on healthy fats like nuts, seeds, avocados, olive oil, fish, and other healthy oils, mixed with lean protein foods, leafy green vegetables, a little bit of fruit, and a tiny bit of whole grains. And this is kind of what I try to follow with my diet. And but this study and many others show that we're not getting enough protein, and we're eating way too many carbohydrates in our diet. And so everybody needs to kind of just chill out on the carbs.
Kind of a case of being overfed and undernourished?
Absolutely it is, man. What a statement. We're eating more food than ever, and we're malnourished on the inside. And so the average American eats 7 times too many carbs in their diet.
Wow.
7 times. I mean, think about this. When you go out to eat, first thing to hit the table is a beer, soda, or sweet tea, sugary carb. Then they bring the bread, sugary carb. Then they bring your salad with the dressing, sugary carb. Then they bring your entree with rice, sugary carb.
Potatoes.
And potatoes, sugary carb. And one protein, one little piece of meat. And then you save room for dessert, sugary carb.
And you know what? When you're in a restaurant and you order water and tell them don't bring the bread, they look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like we were talking about a show, was it last show or the one before, where, the people that eat the bread eat 16% more of the paid for food. So they want you to eat that. But then you save room for that or another beer, another sugary carb. And so all of those carbs, the problem is that it floods your body with insulin. Insulin tells your body to store fat. And here's what they just found out too, is fat cells in your body actually send hormonal triggers to produce more insulin.
Wow.
Which in turn produces more fat cells, which produces more insulin, and this downward spiral of weight gain initiating more insulin and more weight gain. Your waistline gets bigger and bigger, and you end up having to, end up with diabetes and all these chronic diseases. So what I wanted to do after the break is we're going to talk about the study and the details of it. But, speaking of blood sugar, we have several folks out there that were not able to make my diabetes solutions class a few weeks ago. I've had several people call asking me when I was having another class, and I don't have one scheduled. So what I wanted to do to try to help these people manage their weight and their blood sugar that could not make my class on 4 solutions to beating your diabetes, I wanted to try to do something special for them. So for the ones that either couldn't make it or maybe they didn't even hear about the class and they're just now hearing about it, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Anyone that calls my office and tells them that they heard it on CJ and Deb this morning, I will sit down with you personally and help you develop a program to get your weight and blood sugar under control, completely on me at no charge. And
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you tell them you heard about it on the show today, now normally this appointment would cost a couple $100, but if you call and tell my staff that you heard about it and that you missed the workshop, I will sit down and see if my methods can help you. So all you have to do is call and tell them you heard it on CJ and Deb, and we will sit down and we will see if we can get you some help, because I don't want anything preventing you from fixing this blood sugar problem. It is killing. You won't believe how many people every year this blood sugar and insulin problem is affecting. Insulin is not the only problem with eating sugar. It leads to inflammation. Inflammation is the precursor to cancer, heart disease, cholesterol in the arteries. Almost every disease, chronic disease that's killing us, begins with inflammatory processes in the body. Sugar feeds inflammatory processes in the body. So this is something we need to handle now. So if you want to do that, you can call 837-7174 and tell them I said to call. And so let's do this. Let's take a really
I want you to repeat the number first.
837-7174.
Thank you for that.
And so we'll sit down and we'll see if we can get you fixed up. Now, after this really short break, I wanted to discuss this study and all the details of it.